as Raph. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dhampir. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore, the Satyr Druid, who's a kind of a charismatic Druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
Hi, my name is Josh. I am from the RollTogether RPG stream, and I will be playing Killian Maxwell, a half-elf warlock who has come to Barovia. He was with the party previously but has lost them and has joined up with the Tempest Guild on their adventures.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. A warning, gentle viewer. Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which means you may hear adult language or adult themes throughout this episode. Hello! Welcome, everybody. It is wonderful to see all of you once again for our Curse of Strahd campaign. Oh boy, did we have a session last week. For those of you who are watching on YouTube and on Twitch, you will notice a fairly dramatic change to the overlay. Raph, would you like to introduce yourself, please, as your character has been stripped from you?
It's me. Grinner is no more. It's just Raph playing Raph, which no one wants.
That's right, Raph is being isekai'd into the Curse of Strahd campaign as himself. He has the stats of a level 1 commoner, and you're going to have to train and level up. No. Obviously, Raph has a new character for tonight, but I wanted to keep it a little bit of a surprise, not just from you guys in the audience, but also from the cast. They don't know what character Raph is playing next. Chat have just asked, if you die in the game, do you die in real life? That's a bit bloodthirsty, chat. I'll consider it. We're going to keep it as a bit of a surprise. You will not know Raph's character until we are introduced to them. I know previously, whenever we've had guests come on, whenever we've had characters change up, you've always been able to see the character a little bit in advance, get a bit of a heads up, get a bit of an idea based on the character out of what you're looking at. That's not the case tonight. You are going to be waiting along with the rest of the cast, and you'll all be experiencing the new character for the first time together.
I don't even know who I'm playing.
Well, that's a worry, because I really do need you to figure that out in the next sort of 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how much faffing there is with the rest of the group.
Honestly, with this group, I've got 2 sessions.
You've got 2 sessions. Yeah.
Is it just going to be a case of you've got a character sheet for every NPC that we're about to bump into, and it's just going to be like a luck of the draw sort of thing?
That's right.
Look,
that would actually be a lot of fun.
I'm not going to say that if we had to do that, I couldn't send him character sheets. I probably could do that if we really look. If you change your mind partway through Raph and you decide to abandon the character I just spent 3 solid days doing the artwork for, while I was also moving house, I mean, it's an option available to you. I would be sad.
Emphasizing gavel.
Oh no! Hang on. Can you do the voice?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Get it correct.
No, I will not. I need my voice for later on in this game, I think.
It's a good question. I think that's the one thing I didn't ask you, your new voice. I guess I'll find that out too.
You will.
I know this goes without saying, but I want you to put the level of commitment Jacob has put into Tithla.
Oh, I will. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
When you guys probably don't know this, but when I make a new character, I go voice first. So it is the first thing that I come up with is the voice, and then that creates the entire character around it. So that it should be absolutely horrific.
Excellent.
Dreams come true.
The dreams come true. The only other announcement I have before we start is Jared is joining us tonight. He's just running a little bit late. He will be jumping on. Obviously, in Luther's absence, there have been some events that have occurred that Luther's not going to know about. So we will do a really solid recap when Jared jumps back in. I understand he has been catching up with the episodes though, so he should be all on top of things as he jumps back in and should know what Luther knows. But when he jumps in, we'll just bring him straight across. And that's pretty much it for the fun announcements to share. As I said, I am now moved across into the new space. For those of you watching now, however, you'll still see the void of stars and the northern lights behind me as my background. I haven't quite finished setting up this room to make it as beautiful as it could be yet, and I still haven't stolen all of Haz's sound baffles yet, which I will get off you at some point in the near future. Maybe we could use them to make the worm costume when we go see Dune 2.
It's a bit black for old Shai Halud.
Could spray paint it.
Will that dampen its soundproofing abilities afterwards?
Because it's the shape as well that helps like dampen the sound. Like the ruffled surface creates lots of like reflection points for the noise to sort of be bounced in all different directions rather than being concentrated and echoing back. So probably wouldn't do too much damage to it. I don't know. If you're an audio engineer and I just said complete bullshit, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, yeah, maybe look, we'll think about it. Tom, what's your costume going to be for Dune 2?
Yeah, to be announced.
Okay. I was going to say someone should just...
I just came here to fuck the Dune 2 popcorn box.
Oh no. I was gonna say someone could go as Spice, just like cover yourself in like red glitter and just like walk around constantly shedding it like dandruff. That could be quite fun.
And every worker just sighs at you as you just leave a trail behind you.
Yeah. Or walk in with a bucket of sand. I am the Dune. Sprinkle sand everywhere as you walk in.
You'd be so hated.
You'd be so hated. Frankly deserved. Exactly. Yeah, look, I'm very, very excited for Dune. Can't wait. I love Dune. I rewatched the first film the other night. Love it. It's the best. Could watch it every night. Maybe not every night, but could watch it frequently. Oh look, here he is. Long time no see.
Hello everyone.
It's who's this guy? We've got someone has just entered the chat. It's Jared, our long lost player who in his absence things have escalated.
That they have. Looking forward to unraveling that tonight.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to how that's going to unravel, I suspect. But yeah, without any further ado, I think we should jump back into the session. I'll do a quick recap to get us all back up to speed. Jared, you've been watching the episodes anyway, so you're up to date as much as everyone else is.
I am.
Perfect. So I'll do a recap. We will jump straight back into the episode because we have a lot to go through. Our series has been following the adventures of the Tempest Adventuring Guild. Theo, Luther, Jonor, Grinner, Tithla, and newcomer Killian, an adventurer from a distant land. Having become trapped within the realm of Barovia while searching for some missing adventurers, the team have been travelling west in search of an escape. With Tithla's burns still requiring medical attention and Killian suffering from a vampire bite, the team decided to head to the abbey at Kresk for healing, travelling in the company of Nikolai and Stella Wachter. After being greeted at the gate by two mongrel folk, Otto and Siegfried, the group were met by the abbot, a tall, bald man with slightly alien-looking features. Agreeing to help heal Tithla, Killian and Stella, the abbot demonstrated his considerable skill with regenerative magic, completely restoring Tithla's burned skin. However, this impressive display of magic was quickly followed by a horrific loss of control, resulting in Grinner taking on some wolf-like aspects when attempting to have his damaged liver replaced by the abbot. While the others dealt with Grinner's changes, Jonor and the abbot headed up the spiral wood staircase to the floor above. Gentle, soft music filled the air, a raven-haired woman covered in scars playing an ornate golden harp with a striking resemblance to Irina. Jonor had some questions about this and revealed to the abbot he knew the real Irina and that she was back in Vallaki. The abbot immediately took off, claiming Irina was the bargaining chip he needed to escape these lands, offering to take the party with him. It was decided the abbot shouldn't be going alone to collect Irina, so Theo accompanied him in roach form, their journey interrupted briefly by an airborne attack. Arriving in the town at the dead of night, Theo and the abbot barged into the burgomaster's manor, startling Aasimar. Sensing something was wrong, Theo rushed up the stairs to find a ghostly form trying to beckon Irina to the window. Realizing the situation might be more dire than first thought, Theo decided to spend some time learning about Irina's history before attempting to flee with Irina back to the abbey. Meanwhile, Grinner, Tithla and Jonor dealt with the fallout of the partial werewolf transformation, Tithla utilizing her immense knowledge of medical science to find some way to reverse the change. Luckily, the combined search did indeed bear fruit, identifying a potential cure in the form of a potion, with many of the ingredients already on hand in the abbot's alchemy bench. While all of this was going on, Grinner sought some solitude at the peak of the mountain, snow gently falling all around. Calling out into the night, Grinner beseeched Strahd to attend to him, and Strahd answered, a portal opening in the air. After a rather tense discussion in which Grinner revealed his changes at the hand of the abbot, his home realm, and then attempted to empathize with Strahd in the hopes of trying to connect with his humanity, Grinner let slip the tapestries he had seen in the Durst Manor. With Strahd demanding more information, Grinner was taken through a portal by Strahd back to Castle Ravenloft, where Grinner was shown the March of the Dead, the thousands of ghosts in procession outside the keep. Realizing Grinner's absence, Jonor and Killian decided to search the grounds surrounding the abbey for clues, following footsteps up the mountainside. Unable to locate any further signs of Grinner, and finding themselves away from prying eyes, Killian's patron reminded him of their deal. Killian decided now was the time to act, stabbing Jonor with his blade to acquire the blood of a spellcaster for his patron. Jonor and Killian both looked on in surprise as Killian's hand began to regrow, but his sword withered and shrank away to nothing. Jonor, fearing for his life, decided to try and flee, watching on as Killian, suddenly feeling the weight of his actions, abandoned his patron and his magic. Back in Vallaki, Theo, the abbot, and Irina were all ready to depart, having waited out the night below the old burgomaster's manor. With the abbot casting magic to reduce Irina's weight and Theo taking on roach form, the trio began the flight back to the abbey. Our session last week, however, ended with Grinner and Strahd. Firstly, as Grinner attempted to flee into the crowd of ghosts, but finding himself cornered again by the vampire, attempted to stab Strahd through the chest. Facing the full might of the vampire alone, we left off last session as Grinner fell in combat. And that was the end of our episode last week. We jump straight back in with Killian and Jonor. Back at the top of the mountain, the cold winds blowing all around. Killian having just ripped the jar full of dark blood from his waist, flinging it off the side of the mountain to smash into pieces on the rocky, icy snow below. As the voice of your patron fades into the back of your mind, Killian, your sword, that you had previously been able to summon, dismiss at will, you watch as it slowly begins to freeze as the blood below does, before crumbling into shards of broken ice. Jonor, I believe the last thing you said was, "What the hell?" which I think is a rather appropriate place to pick back up again. As you look up at Killian only, I think, 30 feet away, as you had taken a disengage and dash action to get away. Disengage and use your movement to get away from Killian. As you look up, you watched as Killian threw both the sword and this vial of blood, this like a decanter of blood? Decanter, is that the word? Gourd of blood over the side of the cliff to shatter on the icy slopes below.
I suppose the blood was decanted.
It was.
It was big jug.
Big jug. Now no jug.
No jug.
No jug.
Go smash.
Jug go smash. I hand back over to the two of you as the Snow whips around you. For you both, obviously for Theo, we've jumped ahead to the morning, but for both of you, it is late at night, close to midnight. With the clouds now below you, the wind still whipping around and snow still occasionally flying up from position. There's obviously clouds high above you as well, but like almost like a misty cloud layer below you. You are alone and isolated up here. You can't even see the abbey anymore. What would you guys like to
panting,
do? Yeah.
Jonor would have dashed and put a bit of distance between myself and him. Turning around, looking at him. I imagine I caught the tail end of him hurling the canister and the blade sort of dropping down.
Yeah, you couldn't help but see it, Jonor. The way Killian threw it, it almost was like exactly to the right and in front of you. As you're dashing down the side of the mountain, taking the pathway, this little goat track, the drop off to the right of you is where he threw it off. I mean, there was no way you could miss this, him being so close.
You've got yourself a lot of explaining to do right now. You don't move anywhere. If you take any action, I don't know what's gotten into you, Killian. You better explain yourself right this moment. And as I'm saying that, as I finish saying that, I start, like my hands start to move in front of me, and there's a little bit of a swirl of wind that begins to form around Jonor.
I've been thinking about this.
You just stabbed me in the back.
I did. The temptation was just too. It was too much. I don't expect you to forgive me for that. I'm gonna try to summon my mage hand. Not because I want to use it, but I just want to see if I still have that magical connection.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So your mage hand is a spell that you learn through your cleric levels, correct?
Warlock levels.
Ah, okay. As you go to summon your mage hand, nothing happens. Nothing at all. The magic is gone. As you try and reach for it, you sense no connection to the entity, no power dwelling within you anymore. With the blood all frozen, your warlock levels are no longer accessible to you for the time being.
I'm not wearing any armor. I think with the amount of rest that I've tried to get, I would have taken my armor off. Probably wearing a big, thick sort of winter coat.
Do you want to just have the doona from the bed wrapped around you? You're just like huddled in this doona. Yeah.
I'll fall to one knee and I'll start coughing up blood, and I'll put my hand on my right shoulder and pull it away, and you'll see there's visible blood there, as if I'd made a deal to heal up a grievous wound that is now reopening because I no longer have said deal. I'm sorry, Jonor. I don't expect you to accept my apology. I've destroyed any trust that there was built between us. I definitely don't expect any forgiveness from you.
You just stabbed me. You just slashed my arm open. What do you expect me to do? What were you just trying to mutter then? Are you about to cast another spell? You shut down my last spell. What is that? My blood on your shoulder?
That's my own blood. I'd made a deal with a demon to save my life when my other party members were killed. I was also killed, but I found a weapon, the weapon that I carry, and it spoke to me and said that it could bring me back to life and give me powers to leave this land if I so wanted. I just had to do what it wanted when it wanted me to. This is the first time that it has actually spoken to me.
And so you think that this is the weapon talking to you. At this point, Jonor's going to look around just to see if there's something else. Like there's something he's got creeping up on me around. I sort of glance over the shoulder.
Yeah. Do you want to make me a perception or investigation check, Jonor? Or insight as well. I'd also say insight might work here too if you were looking for an insight.
Look, I'll go to perception start.
12. As you look around, Jonor, you and Killian are alone up here. There is no other forms of life at all. There's no animals, there's no plants, there's no people, there's nothing. You are alone on this windswept mountain peak, you and Killian. At Killian's feet, the sword that he wielded has shattered into pieces. Behind you, at the bottom of the mountainside, or at the bottom of this little ravine area, is the fragments of that gourd. The black blood within it, frozen. Shattered into pieces. And between Killian's hands, you see red blood, fresh blood, beginning to pour from what looks like a wound on his shoulder.
So you're saying that there was all this weapon that's talking to you, and this is not you. I'm kind of struggling to believe this because you've just stabbed me. So I need you to do something for me. I want to hear what you're thinking, and you have to answer me honestly, okay? So I'm going to listen to your thoughts. Do not try to fight this, or I don't know what will happen. And at this point, he's going to then start to channel his magic and use some of his divinity to try and piece together bits of information that he can get from his mind as he casts Detect Thoughts.
Now, surface level thoughts. Killian, do you want to tell us surface level, and then we can discuss whether or not you're failing this, choosing to fail, or rolling a dice? So let's go surface level first.
Surface level is along the lines of shit, what have I done? Why did I do this? Shit, oh shit, what, I betrayed these people, shit, along those lines.
Yeah,
well,
that's what you hear, Jonor. Yeah. Now, Killian, are you allowing Jonor in to read deeper, or are you going to try and resist this?
I would have, as Jonor started casting the spell, I would have fully slumped onto both knees. Yeah, I would have lunged forward and stabbed him in the chest with nothing. Yeah. I will,
with my tooth that I ripped free. Yeah, close your eyes.
Right. As I channel the magic a little bit more and dive deeper, this is the first time I've actually gotten to dive into someone's mind. So actually knowing where to go with this, I'm going to say, Killian, say, where are you from?
I don't say anything. It just shows you instead, and you watch as we pull into what would be the Sword Coast, and you see a city, rather large city that looks like part of it is in ruins, part of it looks like it's been rebuilt. You get the thought in your head that it's the city of Neverwinter. It'll go through the streets and you'll see that there's people that have been affected by plague and all of this sort of stuff there. There seems to be something known as the bloat happening there at the moment. And you'll end up at a church with the symbol of Kellenvor that you've seen Killian wear on it. And Killian is stood inside the church treating people who have been affected by the plague. A couple of people will approach him. They seemingly talk to him, and then it pulls out of the city and pulls to the woods, the nearby large woods that there is, and you'll watch as Killian and a group of people walk into the woods, and mist follows behind them.
Seeing those images flash in his mind, I've got one more thing for you. And why is it that you wanted to kill me?
The memory shifts almost like mist itself, and then parts outwards, and you'll see, if you've been in the Savalak Woods at all, especially near Lake
Zartok, I think it is.
Yeah, Zartok, that one. And you'll see Killian and two of the people that he'd entered with are fighting against what looks to be a group of barbarians, tribesmen, something not quite right. And Killian gets cut, like a large great axe gets embedded into his shoulder that almost splits him in half, and he gets Spartan kicked into the lake and sinks down because he was wearing heavy armor at that point. And as he sinks to the bottom, bleeding out, as he is dying, he reaches out and puts his hand on a rusted sword, and then that's when you'll hear the demonic voice within Killian's mind, if that makes sense.
A desperate soul comes before me, is what you hear, Jonor.
Yeah, okay. I think, and that's the voice that spoke to you.
It is, and then it pulls out of that, and then pulls to a more recent memory where we're in the abbey, and Killian is in the prayer area, and you can hear that I'm trying to call out to my god with the sword in front of me, but it's the demon that speaks to me and says I want the blood of a spellcaster.
For sure, yeah. Okay, I think you're just as troubled as a few of us around here. All right. With a bit of that, it seems to be a little bit more settled, and I think the cold sort of catches on to us a bit more, catches on to Jonor. Killian, I think we've got to get back inside. We sort of, before you stabbed me, I think I have an idea about where Grinner went. We should probably reconvene with the rest. But no, look, I think you're okay. I'm going to stop probing your mind. I'll get out of that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But you're just going to stay 30, 50 feet behind me on this whole walk back, okay?
Yes, and I'll stand up. These lands, they can corrupt you. I have seen now that I've fallen too far to its corruption. All of you haven't. Grinner is probably the furthest gone out of all of you, but he's still redeemable. But you must.
He's a complicated man.
Even those who are the most devout to their gods can fall as you sin. Please make sure that you protect them and protect make sure that they do not become any more corrupted and get out of this land. I've come to the conclusion now that it's not on the cards for me. I'm never going to leave here. There's nowhere for me to go. Even if I was to return home, there's nothing for me there.
I think one problem at a time. We've got this crystal that you gave us. We're halfway there. Let's keep on trucking, I think.
Perfect.
I just stand on the mountain edge for a moment.
You watch Jonor as a few drops of bright scarlet blood drip through Killian's fingers, falling down to the snow deep below.
Well, you better get moving. And as I said, you're not coming within 30 of me, okay? And Jonor's going to be a bit wide. He's watching very closely.
Very fair. As you begin making your way down back towards the monastery, let's jump over with Luther. Luther, we last left off as you were also searching for a trail to find Grinner. You'd also been trying to locate where he might have gone, find out where he might be hiding. As you begin walking around the edge of the abbey, while Jonor and Killian began to head outside the area and headed up towards the mountainside, you made your way back towards the main gate. And as you begin following the footsteps and looking around, there's not a lot there really to follow. There's signs of lots of people moving through, signs that there's been a lot of foot traffic, but not much that really gives you a beeline on Grinner. What would Luther be doing during this time?
He doesn't. I don't think he'd be particularly worried, even though it's Grinner. But for the most part, in his mind, everyone should be relatively safe up here. He's probably more worried that Grinner's maybe snuck in some alcohol, gotten drunk, and then tumbled down a cliff. So I'm definitely looking at some of the more precarious areas with my spider climb, and I'm actually sort of darting around sort of the base, not the base, but the edges of the cliff faces and stuff to see if there's been any tumbles or falls. Yeah. I think that would make the most sense.
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense.
He doesn't know what actually happened.
No, you've got no idea. As you begin making your way, looking over the edges, trying to find any sign of Grinner, could you roll me a perception or investigation check, Luther? I'd also say survival might potentially fall under this too, and I'll give you different information depending on which one you pick.
I'm going to go perception. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Nat 1. 6.
Natural 1.
Perfect.
It's a great... Welcome back. Roll20 wants to let you know that you've been missed. As you begin looking around for any signs of Grinner, really it's impossible to make out anything of value or anything of interest. I mean, having a look through, lots of footprints, some of them have boots on, some of them have claws, one of them's a long line, maybe wheelbarrow, maybe big snake, who knows? Hard to say with tracks. After a while, it becomes very obvious that you're not going to find anything of interest out here.
So I guess I'd continue that for a time until I sort of make that realization. Then I'd probably sort of try and... Did I know that Killian and Jonor went out?
Yeah. You guys, the three of you were together and you split up. Killian traveling with Jonor because of his condition, not looking crash hot, as you would put it.
I think I would try and zero back in on them because we all left together. Probably good to reconvene with your teammates.
Yeah. As you head back inside the abbey, Luther, Killian and Jonor haven't yet returned. Tithla's still tucked in bed. You can see Nikolai is keeping an eye on her. Actually, Tithla, I believe that the paralysis is only just starting to wear off properly for you. Much better.
Wait, is she making that noise?
I mean, Jacob made it, so now it has to be canon.
You know that's just her sleeping. Before she got paralyzed, it was the but now she's been paralyzed and it's coming out of it, so you feel pretty comfortable that the is just her sleeping sound, so that's all good.
Do I believe that, Owen?
I mean, Jacob said it, so I guess you do.
Sounds like someone who's literally drowning. Or
sounds like someone choking on their own tongue is how I would have described that.
I'm going to rush over to Tithla. I'm like, Tithla, are you okay? What's wrong? What's going on?
As Luther begins shaking you back awake, Tithla, the paralysis has worn off completely.
Checking your airways as well and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, the paralysis is completely worn off. As Luther shakes you awake and you sort of stumble back out of it, you can feel that sensation once again. Lovely. The tingling has gone completely.
As you pull Tithla up, her eyes go wide and then she goes completely limp.
The shout out at the top of my lungs, medic.
But
I turn him on I turn her on his side, her side, and I'm gonna make sure the airways.
How do you check the airways? Are you fingers in the mouth to try and move the tongue out of the way? Because that's really the only way that you can ensure the airways are clear.
Oh, the moment I see the teeth start being bared, I would
the grin
back away.
Well, is what happens. You go to put the fingers in to clear the mouth, and you can see Tithla fight back a grin as she intends to bite you.
What was those noises? I thought you were dying.
I was asleep, and now I'm not. I'm much
sort of stumble back a little bit, sort of back up against the wall. Just breath of relief, I guess.
Nikolai puts a hand on your shoulder, Luther, having been sort of just about to fall asleep on the bed next to you, next to Tithla and Sterling goes, Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on her. I said I would. She's okay. I promise. It's all okay. But we probably want to keep our voices down. It's very late, and I don't want Stella to wake up again. I know the draft that the abbot gave her. He said it would keep her asleep, but I'm worried about her.
Yeah, look,
and the abbot hasn't come back yet.
I give a stern look to Tithla.
What's up? You just haven't been yourself the last couple of hours. It's good to see you be back.
Yeah, I guess my mind's been somewhere else.
I know I'm pretty amazing transformation. It stunned me too.
This is correct.
Yes.
Have you seen anyone else? Has anyone come back?
Well, again, I was asleep, so I haven't really seen much for the last couple of sessions as well, except I feel like I was more present.
That's true.
It's at this point that Jonor and Killian tromp in through the main doors, snow falling off their shoulders, collecting around their feet, almost making a long puddle as the snow melts inside the warm abbey as you guys begin making your way towards the others. Killian looking very much worse for wear. Worse than he did when he left, and that is saying something.
Do we notice, does Jonor have any... Is your wound...
Yeah, Jonor's got a cut on his side. His robes are slightly ripped, and there is blood on the side of the wound, definitely.
Whoa, what happened with you guys?
We have a bit of a...
Grinner.
No, I didn't find Grinner, but we've had another development.
You have a wound.
Putting more pace. Yeah, Killian.
While you're doing that,
Killian, can you please explain?
Do cure wounds.
Jonor would put a stop between him and her.
What are you doing?
As you rush forward to go cast Cure Wounds, Jonor just puts a hand on your shoulder, stopping you in your pace.
Tithla's gonna fight that, gonna try and shrug that.
Jonor, could you please make me an athletics check? Tithla, athletics or acrobatics, as we're going to do basically a grapple.
When you said fight that, I thought Jonor getting stabbed.
Whoa!
Yeah. Natural 20 from Jonor, 9 from Tithla. So that's a 19 from Jonor. Still a natural 20. Tithla, as you go to move, Jonor's grip on your shoulder is vice-like, and as you look up, there's an intensity in his eyes that you've not really seen many times before.
Other than the one time you tried to sell her.
No, we're not.
Whoa.
Tithla, just give us one moment right here.
I've never seen you like this before. You okay? What happened?
Yeah, I haven't seen this either. We have an interesting scenario that has played out. I think it's okay, but I want to have Killian explain just a bit of history here. As far as I can tell, he's telling the truth, but I think it's probably best if you give the explanation again.
I know.
And he turns around expectingly to Killian.
Who's currently in the hallway 30 feet away.
You're my friend, and he's our friend, and he looks like shit, so we're going to help him, and then we can listen.
But how did you get that wound, Jonor? I think Luther's probably zeroing in on a few things.
That was me.
I'm not gonna pull my gun out to point at Killian, but I'm just gonna keep it on the gun, just as almost like
the hand resting on the
just
holster.
Prepared.
Yeah,
okay, because there's something fishy's going on here.
Yeah,
Cure wounds at Jonor as well.
Yeah, I mean Jonor's right there. You just cure wounds him right to his face.
That's a 9.
9 hit points, Jonor.
Oh.
Tithla can't really reach though. Tithla has to jump. You feel this little hand go and then slowly slide down the side of your face.
On the hand that's on her shoulder.
Yeah, nice. Yep. Jonor, you regain 9 hit points as this magic, this wave of healing energy flows through Tithla and into you. You watch as the wound at your side starts to reknit.
Now let me help our other friend, and then we can listen.
I'm not letting go.
Killian, come here.
It's fine, Tithla. It's fine.
Okay, look, what happened? Let's get to it.
Tithla goes.
Stop dodging and
sits on her bed, across her arms.
My magic that I use, my blood magic, it didn't have a savory source, let's say. I'd made a pact with a demon while here in Barovia, and I'll go through everything that I said to Jonor just to speed and repeat and all that.
Perfect. Nikolai, who's there too, is just like the whole time.
So, I do believe him. I did have a bit of an inspection of his thoughts as he was describing this. Where he's from does check out, and all that sort of thing. So I believe him, but just a bit rattled.
Look, we can believe him all we want, but Killian, what's going to stop this from happening again?
I'm going to be honest with you, Luther. I don't know. I threw my jug and my sword off of the edge of the cliff after the realization hit me of what I'd done. I have seemingly lost my magic because of this. They shattered and froze. My wound has reopened, so I think it is gone, but I cannot be sure.
Come here, let me look at you. I'm gonna heal him, and then I'm gonna look at him.
Release Tithla at that point.
Tithla does first level cure wounds.
Is it okay for me to get closer?
Tithla will come over to you if you're not.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Tithla will sort of get to the middle of the room and then like wave you over. It's like,
well, come on.
Okay.
I'll go and stand. I'll stand behind Tithla. I'm going to stand behind Tithla. Let her do her thing, but just there to be ready for anything that might happen. I don't know. This is pretty new territory.
So, you're just saying that the source of this possessive, you would say, evil thoughts was in this jar, right?
The jar was part of the deal. The actual deal was with the sword itself, as far as I'm aware, or whatever was in the sword.
And that's the one that's just on the ground up there. So that sword is a source of whatever that was. Is that what you're saying?
The sword that crumbled into dust as I threw it. Yes.
Okay. It's not there anymore. It's gone. Okay. All right.
Tithla would like to do a religion check.
Absolutely.
As she is a cleric and to the same god that Killian has been a cleric to.
Killamvor.
Yes, that one.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it.
That's good that Tithla knows her gods.
Tithla doesn't know its name. Tithla's like trying to learn and is...
Who do we worship? Who are we? What's this? Kelly?
Praise Kelly.
Kelly Killamvor, yes. I would just like to say that 12 hit points you just healed me is the first time I've been above 15 hit points in...
Hey!
Well, that was a 12.
12 on the religion check. Tithla, you have heard of cursed items before. There are magic items, enchanted items, some of which are even said to hold sentience, hold a mind within them. Mm-hmm. These are pretty rare. They're pretty special. The magic used to create them is often, very, very specific and sometimes requires items or sacrifices of very high value. Mm-hmm. Or they are gifts from the gods themselves. Gods, demons, patrons. Yeah. The destruction of a sentient magic item is not an easy thing to do. You don't get the sense that the sword was the source of that voice. It might have been a transmitter for the voice, but whatever that was, especially when Killian refers to it as a demon, he seems very sure of that. You don't know of any demons sealed within swords that can be destroyed simply because they got dropped on some snowy ground. That probably means that it was more I'm gonna go with a conduit, a point of connection.
Writing the word conduit.
Conduit. Yeah, it's a conduit for whatever this entity is. What that entity might be, I mean, it could be a demon. It was asking for some pretty demonic style stuff. It was offering a trade. it wanted blood in exchange for a trade. It was offering power. Your religion check of 12, classic demon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There are other candidates as well, other things it could be. I mean, and you know about warlocks. You know warlocks are spellcasters who, unlike yourself, their faith isn't enough. They need to make paltry bargains with entities from beyond or dark forces. Yeah. Sad, really. Yeah. Just get good is what Tithla's probably thinking with that. But there are other beings that this could be from. Killian seems pretty convinced it's a demon, though. Demon. A devil, I should say. I've been saying demon. I actually should be saying devil.
Yeah, I've been saying demon as well. Yeah,
that's my bad too.
Devil, yeah.
Devil. Yeah, sorry, devil. It fits the behavior, the style of a devil. A demon's much more chaotic. A demon wouldn't have made a deal. It would have just been like blood, and then he would have gone for blood. This is much more cunning. Look, it could be a devil. It does match with what you know of devils. Very easily could be. More importantly, Killian breaking the sword and breaking his connection to it, it doesn't necessarily mean that link is severed completely. There may still be vestiges of this connection. But Killian choosing to do this is a pretty important step. Massive step. Killian has rejected this being. It is unlikely to be approaching him, offering lovely treats and
boons.
Yeah, boons. If anything, now Killian has a bit of a target on his back. Devils don't take these sort of rejections lightly, shall we say?
Is this what
Tithla's gleaned with her religion check? On the flip side, Tithla, if Killian did have a connection with his god, it would have been partially obstructed by his deal with this thing. With it gone, maybe there's room for him to fully realize his cleric powers, like you are doing.
Cool. Okay. So Tithla will take a step back and sit back on her bed, and she'll say,
"The sword. I don't think the sword was the voice. I think the sword was just like a message device. It just like let you talk to them."
Can I just say how profound that is? The sword wasn't the voice, it was the message. It's almost poetry.
That's Tithla for you. She's poetry.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt. And then Tithla's face underneath.
Sponsored by Maisie Peters.
Oh, God.
Couldn't help himself.
She says,
like breaking the connection, like that's hard. I think you've told them to get lost, and so they're probably going to hide for a little bit. But there's still some link there, and I think this devil's not going to be very happy with you. So we might just have to be careful for a bit.
I'm going to walk up to Killian, put my hand on his shoulder. Wrong shoulder. Oh. Sorry.
I love how Josh and I both had that idea at the exact same time.
But no, I'm going to look at him and I'm going to look into his eyes for a sec, just sort of gather what's going on. And especially with some of the stuff that like Tithla said, it's made me realize a few things. So I will look at him and go, I know all too well what it is to sort of have a curse, per se, that was thrusted upon you through some form or other. I'm here for you. I'll help you overcome this darkness. Force you to finally sever it. Then you can turn to the light of your god. But I'm here to help. I know what it's like. This sort of situation, I guess.
Yes, I also know what it's like to have one soul be almost bartered for.
That's...
Well, there was a price put on his soul, isn't it?
No, Tithla, that was... Man, thank you so much for... Poetry.
Yes, thank you.
Why do I... No, I thought I'd like to think, though, with this situation, though, like... hopefully, I hope Killian can find a little bit more. I don't know what who gleaned from that, but he's got my support at least, and apparently Tithla's profound support too.
All of my support is profound.
Well, on the next sort of relevant information after that immediate event, we were out on the trail looking for Grinner, and Tithla, you put us on the right pathway, looking for the right boots. We found his boot trails. We made ourselves to the top of the mountain, and having a bit of a look around is kind of unusual. I've never known Grinner to cast any magic or to fly, and his boots took him to the top of the mountain and then just stopped there. I couldn't really figure out where he went.
He wasn't close enough to the edge to jump. It was as if he was just plucked out of thin air.
We've been in this land long enough. We understand some of the creatures that walk the night.
Do we?
I don't feel like
I do.
Well, could it be something, maybe like a spectre or a ghost?
It's concerning. It's concerning because we did see, or Jonor did see that something attacked the abbot and Theo on their way to Vallaki. So,
could it have been the same creature then?
Do we need to go and look for clues around that area? Look for tracks, not immediately in the area, but the surrounding areas.
It was pretty clear.
You got to that point that it was going in.
We gave it a bit of a look around. I didn't see any other signs. I had a peek around and a look for magic, and there's nothing else to be seen.
Jonor, I love you. You're amazing. You looking for magic is very, very helpful, but it's you looking for survival and physical clues is not the same as me looking for them. The same as if I was to look for magic clues, it wouldn't be the same as if you were to look for them.
Yeah, good point.
I know. I had to tell you about the whole shoe thing.
Yeah. So
that actually helped us as well. I was able to use that method to guide us up to where we found just Grinner's footprints and where Grinner had been taken, although my mind was slightly preoccupied. I didn't think to look for other tracks around the area at the top, wings or broken bushes or anything like that. So it might be worth you having a look to Tithla once you're up and able.
We can go now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we know his pathway, so more eyes, right? It'll help us out. We head on through, yeah?
Yeah.
It is now after midnight. As you begin making your way up the slope, it is dark. It is cold. The wind bites at you. Killian, are you accompanying them? You're pretty injured.
I feel that I'm bleeding out, so like 1 hit point every hour or something like that I'm probably losing, or something silly like that. So I will stay, but I will be as far away from the
can Tithla do a medicine check to help wrap you up so that you can then rest more comfortably?
Absolutely. Tithla, do you want to make a medicine check?
I'll honestly probably even just do my I'll have a healer's kit actually that could probably be worthwhile too.
Do you want to have advantage on that check then, Tithla, as Luther gives you assistance?
Yep, perfect.
16.
Luther's supplies combined with your medical genius. Unfortunately, this is your subconscious I'm talking to, so I have to describe it as you see it. Luther's supplies combined with your medical genius allow you to deftly, swiftly, and expertly deal with the pretty grievous wound in Killian's shoulder. Looks like some sort of battle axe, some bladed weapon has cut through the top of his shoulder. The bones have been reknit, definitely by some sort of magic. But whatever's happened to Killian, that breaking of the deal, it looks like it is slowly being undone. You can see sections where almost like a groove is starting to carve its way into his collarbone. The muscles and tendons almost breaking apart again, as whatever had been keeping him alive hadn't healed him. It had just almost like patched over the wound, kept it in stasis. That's breaking apart now. You are able to seal. Oh, yeah, you go.
So Tithla wants to like quickly run to that medical supply room and see if there's some like milk of the poppy or like something to just help with this pain that's happening.
As you begin like rifling through the drawers of the abbot's study, milk of the poppy absolutely would help with the pain. But right as you're about to leave, something else as well. Almost like these black salt-like crystals marked with the label coagulant.
Oh, that's for like stop blood moving. Yes, that one will do.
And as you rush back and begin sprinkling some of these black crystals into the wound, you watch as they immediately grow across, the blood almost feeding them. And as they form this spongy-like, almost like, I guess like a mushroom-like growth, really. This spongy mycelium-like growth, it seals and plugs the wound.
How much of that does Tithla use?
How much of that does Tithla use?
Tithla would use as much as she needed to get Killian good, or like happy. So how much is then left? Like it's a medical supply. You're gonna use it.
The bottle was about half full. Tithla, you don't know what the correct amount is, so you gonna say reach and grab a handful, throw it in the wound, see what happens. It grows really quickly. You're left with what looks like a third of a bottle left.
Okay.
Now a third of a bottle of coagulant to your inventory, if you are stealing this from the abbot.
She's just gonna. I mean, I guess she doesn't even think. She just put it in her pocket. She's like, I'm using this thing now. Put it in my pocket.
Okay. So as you steal this from the abbot,
sure.
Yeah, cool, brilliant. Yeah. As Killian, then you lie down to have a rest. You may start your long rest as the rest of the group, Jonor, Tithla, and Luther, head up to the top. In the interest of keeping the session moving, and I'm also very aware that poor Haz is now half a day ahead of you because he's now he's coming back at 7 a.m. I don't want Haz just sitting there. We also have Raph also just sitting there as Raph. So
don't worry about me.
Yeah, he brought this on himself.
Yeah, I did this myself. Carry on.
Harsh consequences.
That's true. That was.
I was just about to say that.
That was the name of the last episode. I've had a few people message me and be like, "You just came out and said it." I was like, "Yeah, it was harsh consequences." But fair. As the three of you rush up the side of the mountain, Tithla, if you'd like to make a survival check with advantage, I imagine that's what you're going to try and do, with Jonor pointing out the tracks, Luther assisting as well. Luther, if you wanted to make a check of some sorts as well, not survival, but let me know what, if you're going to try and do anything else.
So that's okay. I'm happy for Tithla to answer for
Provide
us.
That's a 20 total. Tithla spends too long looking. Tithla
20.
doesn't stop looking. She wouldn't report. She'd report back going, "Oh, nothing over here, nothing over here. Still looking. All right, let's expand the circle," and just wouldn't stop. It would almost take somebody dragging her away to stop looking for the signs of her friend Grinner.
Well, I'm actually, if it's going to be that long,
I'd probably be in the same boat, to be honest.
Yeah, then I will get Constitution. I will get Constitution saving throws from all three of you as you are out in the elements, exposed at a very high altitude in a heavy snowfall.
That's a nat 20, 22.
Holy shit, Luther 14.
I will say, because of my heritage, I don't know how this plays into it, but
how are you with cold?
I don't need to breathe though, so that might be helpful for something.
I mean the oxygen's not getting to you, but the cold is.
Just normal for cold.
Yeah, just normal for cold. Luther, you're actually going to take a point of exhaustion, but Tithla and Jonor, natural 20 and Jonor 20, unnatural. Maybe it's the fire in your belly driving you forwards to try and find Grinner. The constant movement as you're running around checking areas. Tithla, despite your 20 survival and unnatural 20 survival, it's genuinely like he disappeared. There are no signs of a flying creature having swooped down to pick him up, its wings brushing the tops of trees. There are no trees here. This is an exposed mountainside, and the snow has been falling for at least an hour since Jonor and Killian were up here. Took him about half an hour to get back down, chats, then half an hour back up again. There are no tracks. Even the tracks of Grinner disappearing, they're gone. It's only because Jonor knows where to go.
Jonor, could I ask something? We've done this before, me and you, when we're looking at things like this. Can you do that thing with your eyes, the thing where you can detect magic traces?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's bang on right here. Just give me one moment.
No problem.
He then just sort of like postures his body, clicks his neck around a little bit, says a few words, and then a light sort of washes up from under his cloak over the front of his face, and then sort of sets onto his eyes. Clicks, blinks a couple times, and use sort of the changing hues as he looks at the different spells, different schools of magic. Sorry, and I think the first one would probably be like transmutation or conjuration. Anything around?
I'll save you some time.
Made.
I'll save you some time, Jonor, as you flick through each of the spectrums of magic. Either it's been too long since a spell was cast and the traces of magic have dissipated, or no magic was cast to begin with. You remembered when you first came, there were some signs, like the way the snow had kind of fallen, hinted to you that maybe something was a bit wrong. There'd been some sort of disturbance in the air for a period of time, but it's been so long now since it's been an hour since you checked that, and who knows how long since that disturbance was actually created. The magic has faded. The trace is gone.
Coming up a bit cold here, Luther. Usually we get something, but this is cold. Really is.
It has to be magic though. Like he just vanished. That's suspicious.
Yeah.
Maybe the Dune 2 popcorn bucket got him.
Where's the rest of us? Because he got fucked.
He used too much butter.
Lucky we have that content warning.
We have a content.
Tithla, I think.
Yeah.
Tithla, I think you've checked over there before. You're going over there for the third time, but we've already gone over that little part. I think we need to change our search.
I just need to look one more time. Just one more look.
No, she's got it.
All right.
She might have it. She might have it this time. Just give her a chance.
And Tithla continues her very meticulous, methodical. Has never looked like she's taken anything more seriously. There is zero joke.
There's a moment, Tithla, where you think you've come across some new tracks. That hope burning alive within you before you realize it's just Luther's footprints. Having stepped around to check out something you'd pointed out previously, that hope, having it and then losing it, begins to awaken you to this dark new reality where you don't think you can find the answer. At least, not right now.
I'm going to roll a con save to see if she bursts into tears or not. That's a 12. I don't think that saves. I think she just falls to her knees at those tracks, wipes them away with one hand, and the other hand is covering her eyes as she just starts to weep.
No, it's not over yet. Tithla, come here. I go over. I wrap her inside the cloak, protect her from the cold. We don't know yet. We'll find him. Okay, we'll find him.
You have to use your magic to find him. I can't find him. I can't do anything. You have to find him.
We'll be able to locate him. We'll be able to do it.
No, you have to do it. We can't do it. You're the only one that can help.
I reach for my my little sack, my backpack, and grab the deck out.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
I go for there with the wind sort of blowing. Tithla, can you get in the way of the wind here? Luther, stand over the top. The cards are getting blown away. Let's have a look. What does this say? And he pulls out the deck, drawing out. He can't really lay them out the way he normally would. So at this point, he's just going to go take a card, Tithla. Tithla, I need you to to channel this one. I think all of us here had something to do with him, like quite a deep bond with him. So any one of us could do it. Tithla, take a card.
This one. And she grabs 3 in from the right.
Okay, could you roll me, please, a D100? Tithla.
What if I don't want to?
You have to. It's non-negotiable.
Oh, 17. Oh,
17.
no.
No, it's alright. He's just randomized.
I just
One will be
need to
good, could be still bad. Who knows?
Just need to halve that for the card. No. This is to find out which card you're drawing. It's okay. Calm down. There's 54 cards in a deck. A D100 gets me as close as possible with a bit of like fudging on either side as I do the math to get the right numbers. Alrighty. Oh wow, that is very interesting. Okay.
I don't like that.
Tithla, the card you draw. It is the 7 of what looks like. I'm going to say 7 of loops. I'm trying to see which one this is from the Charlatan deck. On the card, you see a man. Long robes dressed around him, a large moustache underneath a crooked nose, one eye closed and scarred, holding a white porcelain mask to cover the eyes. On his head sits almost like a newsboy cap, but feathers emerge from the top of it, and in the background you can see what looks like the flags of a carnival. The card is called the Charlatan. Jonor,
Oh man,
as you look at this card,
that's nuts.
what are the chances? As you look at this card, I'm beginning to think maybe there's something about this whole Tarokka thing. I mean, Tarot's bullshit, but Tarokka, maybe it's all in the D&D, baby. As you look over the card, Jonor, you instinctively know your connection to this deck and the divination magic you've been practicing. You instinctively know this card could mean a couple of things. It could mean exactly what it looks like. Someone you know, someone you trust has been working against you, betraying you this whole time. And that kind of, in a sense, would ring true for Jonor. I mean, Killian has just been unmasked as having been, manipulated and pulled this way and that by a devil. The flags on the ropes, the carnival behind, almost looking like the strings of a marionette heading down towards the figure. But it could also mean something for your future. It may not be talking about your past and your present, maybe talking about your future. In which case, perhaps a friendly face you see is someone hiding, or a friend hidden behind a mask of a foe. It can be both ways. But the
When
card
this card
means,
was pulled,
yeah.
I think Luther, he just immediately jumped. I jumped. Like, I know, like, obviously, with knowledge beforehand, we're aware of what happened, but this actually rings true. Like, we only just unmasked Damien. So,
if this card's talking about the past, then you can think of 2 examples easily. If it's talking about so let's say past is Damien, present is Killian, future.
Oh, God.
I don't like this card. I wish I rolled a different one.
Do you want to roll a different one just to see what you've got? And if you'd rolled a different number, just roll a different. Let's just see. Just roll a different number. Let's see what you would have got if you'd rolled a different number. I'm just blown away.
Not to flex on you. It's a computer. You can make it roll a 1d52 if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Could you roll a 1d54?
Please roll
flex.
52 as well.
No, I don't want the 52. I want 54. There's 54 cards in the deck.
Okay, I need to
get the exact same card.
Oh my god! I swear to God, if you do.
Come on.
No,
that is double, which is about what you were doing before.
But it's
what is it?
It's the same card.
No.
It's the same cards.
No.
It's the same card.
The game is cursed. The game is cursed.
It did sound it. I believe it's Tarokka.
Oh
That
god,
is
no.
fate.
Is there a lottery number?
Dungeons and Dragons is the devil game.
Oh my god.
So that's the exact same card. Tithla, as you put the card back, Jonor shuffles it and you pull another card. It's the exact same card.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
No, but seriously. What? Carry on, please.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I think that's probably a great time to honestly finish with us for a bit.
I'm going to say the three of you
absolutely flabbergasted with that revelation.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, Jared. I can't just jump away from you because if I jump to Theo, Theo's going to be experiencing future events because Theo's coming back in the morning. Like the journey back is in the morning. I can't jump to Raph because Raph is just Raph. I mean, we could do a check-in. How you doing, Raph?
I'm flabbergasted. And chilling.
Nice.
Carry on.
And I could jump to Killian, but Killian's lying in bed recovering.
With his back turned to the doctors.
So I'm gonna if you're happy for me to rush you guys back down the mountain and have you guys have a long rest.
I think we're
Not many words after that. Pulling the same card twice, seeing it. Jonor, I mean, you know, you felt this connection to the deck before. You know that this has power. And not just of its own, it's your power as well. This is important. The deck is trying to tell you something. Your own divination powers are trying to tell you something important.
You did just do the little sleight of hand, put the card back in, up the sleeve, back out again, Tithla. Like, I mean, you got to pass me. Congratulations, but I need to know that you didn't take the card.
Jonor, I think you know.
Tithla just says
nothing there.
I wish, and gives it back and starts to walk back down the mountain.
Ooh.
Alrighty. With that, the three of you head back with Killian resting. Tithla, Jonor, and Luther, you have a long rest, a uneasy, fitful long rest, knowing that Theo is somewhere off in Vallaki, maybe with the abbot, and Grinner is who knows where. You are awoken, the four of you the next morning by the return of the abbot and Irina and Theo. The flight over Theo has been calm. Despite being overcast, the clouds blocking most of the sunlight, it is still light, and the thin, wan rays of light that managed to penetrate through the clouds let you know that the sun is rising once again. Dawn has returned, and with the abbot having had a full rest, a long rest, and casting Featherfall on Irina to basically lower her weight and to make her almost weightless as he carries her, and you in roach form, your flight back is unaccosted.
And here I was half looking forward to the Ratapult.
Do you want to roll me a D100 and let's see if you get to Ratapult?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, we can do a D100, see if you get to Ratapult. Let's go for it.
I forgot about the Ratapult.
56. Okay. Theo, as the abbot begins to fly over the village of Kresk, the abbey is almost in sight. You hear a large scream of an eagle somewhere nearby, loud, piercing through the air. And as the abbot spins, you watch as a hawk drops down from above, but not aiming for you. Instead, it plucks what looks like a swift out of the air and tears into it, the blood spraying into the air as you hear this strangled gasp from the swift, closely followed by silence as the hawk begins wheeling down, a slow, almost gentle circular descent as it eats its prey on the wing. The abbot sort of pauses. So you go.
No, that's it. That was metal.
Metal. The abbot pauses for a moment, his wing beat sort of like beating in place, expecting an attack. But the hawk merely watches you, golden eyes upon you, as the abbot resumes his flight. The hawk beginning to slowly sort of descend down, but still keeping a close watch on you as you make your way over towards the abbey. As you land in the courtyard and transform back into your Satyr form, Irina next to you sort of panting, looking around and goes, I am surprised. We've made it. I thought for sure we were in danger, but it seems the plan to wait for morning was the right one. That is a relief.
Yes, I'm truly shocked.
Well, should we head inside? You watch as the abbot strides up next to you, the wings sort of tucking back in as he sort of rubs one hand over his bald head and looks around. It seems the mongrel folk have not been doing their chores. While I have been absent, they have taken advantage of my time away. This is not meant to be. And you watch as he waves his hand around and then leans back his head and his voice booms out, much louder than normal, as he casts Thaumaturgy to increase the sound of his voice. Mongrel folk of the Abbey of St. Markovia, you are slacking in your duties. Come, assemble before your abbot. There is much to discuss. As he shouts out across the hall. Inside the hospital, all of you who have attempted to be enjoying a lovely night's sleep, you hear this booming voice echo through the hospital, waking you up with a start as the sudden return of the abbot brings you back into the conscious world once again.
Perhaps you can attend to these matters in the courtyard with your mongrel folk. I will get Arina safely inside. I'm sure she'll be eager to see Grinner and the others again.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Get her inside. There are some items, things down in the lower basement. Not where we were storing the parts. Go there, see if you can find things of use for you and your companions. We may be about to expect a fight. If one was not brought to us while we were above, I fear that there may be a fight coming for the Abbey itself. We must be prepared.
I thought you said they could not enter the Abbey. I thought you said there was consecrated ground. It was safe.
Yeah. Creatures that are undead cannot enter, but they are not the only things that serve the dark powers here. They have servants, those who can cross, that we need to be prepared for. I just need to make sure that we are ready to guard against the combined forces of the evil that awakens in these lands.
Well, I'll, shall I store Irina up with the, her cousin upstairs?
Oh, there is no need for Vasilka anymore. I will perhaps deactivate her before we leave. No, there's no need for Vasilka anymore. As long as Irina is inside the confines of the Abbey, that is enough. She will be safe.
Okay.
Which is Irina kind of pauses. Vasilka? Who's Vasilka?
I will deal with this. Abbot, do not deactivate her until you've discussed with us, please.
Very well. There's no need for any more. So we have the real deal.
No, I know. It just feels wrong to endow something with sentience and then take it away. Kind of like Indian giving.
If you see it that way. Strange. I'd never thought about it like that. No, I see no problem.
I know you don't. You cut up people to use in medical experiments, but just have a chat first, yeah?
Yeah, I will come talk to you and your group before I decide to do anything with Vasilka. Yeah? You are happy?
That's good. You sort out your mongrel folk, I'll take care of Arina. As quickly usher her inside.
Yeah, Theo, as you begin heading inside, you can see mongrel folk emerging from all over the grounds of the Abbey. Some of them climbing down the walls from upper levels in the ruined bell tower, others emerging from parts of the grounds you haven't explored yet. All of them misshapen, changed people, humanoid at their core, but with mismatched, asymmetric animal parts replacing their legs, arms, face, skin, torsos, everything. You watch as one mongrel folk who has almost what looks like the head of a fish, like pushes his head up from the well, takes a gasping breath, and then tries to climb out of the well with what looks like one long octopus tentacle and then a crab pincer. It does not look like a pleasant... Yeah, you go.
How many of these, at a quick glance, appear combat able?
Do you want to roll me an investigation or perception check, Theo?
Yes, I do.
I feel like just straight up able is more appropriate.
I just bounced off the 20.
8. Hard to say. I mean,
all of them. I have a full-blown army ready.
The claws look like they could be pretty good, but like one who has these massive Wolverine claws has one massive Wolverine paw. Also, unfortunately, has stick insect legs, so like probably not very quick along the ground. Hard to say, Theo. Hard to say. Not 6 of them, just 2 stick insect legs.
That doesn't sound structurally sound.
No, it doesn't look it either. Yeah. Or maybe one stick insect leg and then like 1 gazelle leg. It does not look ideal.
I discount these as a potential use case for the upcoming battle and get Arena inside. I should have probably told you about Visilka before.
What are those creatures back there? They look like they are cursed or
They are people.
Okay.
First and foremost, they are people.
They look a bit like monsters to me. That is what we describe as monsters.
Do not say they are quite sensitive to this, but those are actually regular people that have had a very unfortunate life.
Oh, what is the abbot what is he going to do with them? It sounded like he was cross.
He is giving them a home, and it seems he also uses them for cheap, possibly free labor.
Ah. Well, I mean, a safe place to live is a rarity in these lands. There are many who would pay any price for that. I will assume that this is the price, and they have chosen to pay it?
Yes, except for the ones that are completely mad. The ones that I have seen are quite devoted to the abbot, so I think they are happy.
As you say that, Theo, and you get to the main doors, pushing into that first chapel, just next to the hospital wing, you bump into Otto, the mongrel folk I described previously with the almost like a donkey's kind of like chest and skin across his face, and then the misshapen feet and arms. As he looks up, he goes, hello, you return. The master has returned? I hear his voice.
Yes, he is outside. He's waiting for you all, Otto. You are handsome as ever.
Yes, Otto is most handsome, but what is this? He finally finished Vasilka. No scars, so beautiful. Not as good as Otto, but still.
This is my dear friend Arena, not Vasilka.
Oh, he make another one. You help him. This one better. You help good.
Yes, thank you very much.
No problem.
And then Otto nods and then gives Arena a really like big wide smile, showing off his different teeth, like herbivorous donkey teeth on the left side and then wolf teeth on the right, and then begins like moving his way outside into the courtyard once again. Arena sort of like pauses and goes, "No, I think we really need to talk about Vasilka." What?
Well, it was the abbot's project before he heard about you. He was trying to recreate the woman we think you are a reincarnation of via some kind of magical means. I didn't get the full detail before we ran off. I didn't even see her myself. Apparently she looks a lot like you. But the abbot made her, and I thought it was just easier to go along with Otto's assumption there because he can be a bit enthusiastic.
Yes, I can see. Well,
But my plan is to not have him deactivate the Vasilka because, well, I think that would be wrong.
We will talk about this later. Let's catch up with your friends. I feel like there is much to discuss about this Vasilka. And what was that about the cellar? He said there were items down there. Are we expecting conflict?
Well, I mean, the abbot assured me that there'd be no conflict as soon as we got you here, but now he thinks there might be, so fuck him, alright? I still think you're safer here than you were in Varaki, but yes, I guess a fight may be brewing, but I mean, you've seen my friends in a fight, and as long as all 5 of us are here, there's very little that could get in the way. We're very cohesive, there's all 5 of us, there's very little fighting between us.
You mean 6 of you?
Very well as a team. 5 of the ones that aren't me.
Okay. 5 of us implies you as part of it, but I guess like the 5 of them plus us plus me.
Oh, I just counted the screens around me and didn't count myself.
Classic. In that case, then your words prove true. The 5 of you hopefully will be enough.
The ones that are here are all very cohesive and working well together as a team.
Exactly. As you enter into the hospital wing, Jonor, Killian, Luther, Tithla, you look up and see Theo rushing in with Irina right behind him. Irina dressed in her traveling clothes, very similar to what she wore when she was traveling with you between the town of Barovia and Vallaki. And as she sees all of you, you watch as she breaks into this, from a very concerned, almost worried, troubled expression, you watch as that flies away, as she takes on this very like joyous, happy, excited expression, her smile beaming towards you as she rushes up.
It's so good to see you. Why are you all in a hospital? Are you well? What has happened?
Yeah, she is. We've had a bit of healing.
Tithla.
Tithla's
there's been a lot that's gone on.
Tithla is looking beautiful. Your skin, Tithla, it's all healed. That is so wonderful.
I just realized Jacob's not here, so probably shouldn't talk do Tithla. So
Carry on.
Do some weird. Just do some name babbling, and they'll probably do it.
Yeah, you know, just goblin skin.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Raph, do you want to play as Tithla from now on? Let me just update the overlay. I'll just move you down.
And Killian, you look... Good. That is an awful cut on your shoulder, but you're looking otherwise okay. Jonor, your side is bandaged. What's been going on? Tithla, your skin, it's so beautiful.
I know, I'm very pretty.
Perfect.
So you got the abbot was able to heal you?
Well, I mean, yes, me on the outside. Grinner on the inside, no. And Killian at all, no. But we'll get there.
Actually, Killian, like the vampire bite, Killian, you're feeling much better. That's almost gone. I mean, the jagged wound in your shoulder, still a bit of a problem, but a full night's rest with the medical kit healing you up has made a world of difference. You are physically fully healed, but the lack of the Warlock spell slots plus a level of exhaustion is how we're going to, if you're happy with that, to maintain that injury to your shoulder. Do you reckon that's fair?
Yep.
Cool.
What happened to you? When I left, you had the vampire bite and you were sleepy, and now you have an axe wound on your shoulder.
It's a long.
I wondered when you'd ask me about that. Sorry.
I cannot.
No, he had a sign ready. Oh no, that's not good. I've become predictable. Oh no. Please tell me you didn't make that in preparation for my dad jokes.
We use these all the time over on RollTogether.
Nice.
I think we've got like 35 in one episode, so that's how bad we are.
That's awesome.
I leave you alone for a night, and you both get. What did that attack you?
It's an old injury. I'll look to Irina. It's a long story. We can talk about it later.
You're 100% right. I don't mean to alarm you, but I saw the. Well, you know how the gypsy woman, Madame Ava, told us that there were 2 powers in the world: the Count and the possibly more evil counterpart. We met him last night.
Oh shit! Where was he?
Outside my bedroom window.
So that's why Irina's here.
Yes, we needed to get her back here so we could keep her safe. Well, what happens next, we can probably discuss. But
do we know why?
Yes,
yeah.
I can probably fill in. I've already told Irina why, but the other thing you should all be aware of is I took a stab at this other being that is even more undead than the vampire, and I guessed his name. he is Sergei Vonzarovich, and he was quite pissed off when I guessed it.
That sounds an awful lot like...
It does, doesn't it? It is his brother. And, well, I may have pissed him off with that a bit. But we're back safe. Luther, because you were dealing with, I think, dead Grinner when he was getting laid out on the operating table. I assume he is still recovering from his injuries when this happened, but does the plan...
No, I'll stop you right there. Grinner's gone. He's he just wandered off in the night, and he's not here at the moment. I was kind of hoping you'd know where you know where he is. Or have some
I've been
information.
Did you check down the pub in Kresk? He ran out of cigarettes and he was quite pissed off. Maybe he went back down for tobacco and drinks.
No, we followed his tracks. It's almost like he disappeared into... Just disappeared.
This does sometimes happen in these lands. People wander off into the night, never to be seen again. And when we follow the tracks, there's nothing there. There is a creature, a type of large bat-like creature that sings a song. The music draws people out from places, and
maybe
it flies down and grabs them and flies off.
But
we saw a big bat last night. It attacked me and the abbot on the way over.
Could be.
Yeah, that looked awful. We caught a glimpse of it.
Something happened though. Something that rocked us. And I sort of motioned a journal to show the card that we pulled twice.
Yeah, we've heard of bit of a revelation. There's Charlatan is what we drew, and we did it twice. The same card came up twice.
Oh no!
What does it mean?
And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you stupid kids and your dumb goblin. No. Obviously. It is I, Sergei Vonzarovich. No, obviously not that happens. I don't know what that noise was.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
That's amazing.
If he's undead,
he doesn't have a tongue.
The moisture in the lips to do it.
It's because he's a lich. He has to really wet his lips to speak. There's just dust falling out the side of his mouth.
Ugandan knuckles.
Follow me, I will show you the way. That's an old meme, but a good one. Knuckles. That was VR chat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, at the height of that meme, my friend in the city of Melbourne were out on a night out, and he tried to do it to passerbys, and someone was just like, "Dead meat man," and shot him down hard. In the middle, like on the street, like in 2-3 o'clock, people all going about their business, like just partying and stuff. That was amazing. It was so good.
That's brutal. Oh yeah, Jonor. Please roll me your portent rolls. That's a really good call. 13 and 6. Okay.
Be helpful.
Yeah. That's potentially, depending on pluses and minuses, a pass and a failure. They're ready to go.
So, you got stabbed, and we lost Grinner. In the space of one evening.
We spent hours trying to find him, but he just vanished.
And you're sure you followed the tracks, right? You compared the pair?
There, yes, I took the shoe and I put it next to the other shoe, and then the shoes disappeared.
I compared the pair.
What do we do?
I'm sorry. I have the stream on quietly in the background, so it was real quiet, and I just hear, compare the
It's a winner. If those words haunt your dreams, let me know in the comments.
All I'm saying is he's done crazier things to get the cigarettes and alcohol. Maybe he slid down the mountain because it would be faster.
There was no slide signs.
I looked in all the places. Nothing.
It was late at night when you left, maybe?
There, I looked.
I'm sure he will turn up. He can't just disappear. Like, what is it? Someone is going to come and just take him away from us? Like,
just fly him away? That'd be weird.
Yeah, they're extremely strange. I doubt he would leave of his own accord, but...
I know this might be hard to believe, very different to your experience where you come from, but people do sometimes just vanish. Into the mists, into the nights, into the water, it doesn't matter. People just vanish. And sometimes they turn up and sometimes they don't.
He loves us too much.
It's just a harsh reality of this place. I really hope you find him. I really hope this is just him going for a walk to get some cigarettes and booze.
No, he quit those. He's got no reason.
Well, then, maybe this will help us. The abbot says there's something downstairs in one of his rooms that isn't body parts that should help us on what we're trying to do. He says we need to prepare for trouble and
make it double. We need to unite the world.
No, but seriously, the abbey needs to be fortified.
Well, we can do that. Jonor, do you still have that book, or what happened to that bad book that you wouldn't let me look at anymore?
Why would you want to?
Yeah, that.
I know what's
Yeah.
This is desperate times.
You mentioned Sergei before. You know how we went into that magical.
That is exactly why I called his. I guess that would be his name.
Yeah, well, it's his book.
Yes, I recall this.
We need to find Grinner.
I don't want to use the book. I mean, Killian, you have experience with cursed objects. I believe maybe you'd be safest reading the cursed book.
No, thank you. I will stay far away from that.
Okay. Sorry, I asked. But shall we go see what the abbot has for us downstairs? Maybe something he has there will help us find our friend.
Okay, but we need to consider the book. Grinner needs our help.
What do you hope? The book has evil spells of sacrifice and pain. How is this going to help us?
Then let's see what we need to sacrifice.
Oh wait, give me.
Do it for us.
Oh, my friends! I have an excess of those.
Please, I want it.
We don't trade lives unless it's lives I don't like for lives I do like.
Tithla said it.
Let's see what downstairs, and if we have no other solution, then yes, maybe we see what the book can tell us. Maybe we'll see. Yes.
Okay.
On the way down, I'd probably fill Luther in on what the abbot's plan for Irina was. Jared, did you watch enough to catch up on what the plan with Irina and the abbot was?
I did, but it was a while back.
The plan is to trade her to Strahd for a way out for all of us, while also bartering better living conditions for everyone in Vallaki.
Okay.
In the whole realm, I would say.
As you talk to the lawful good.
I know what he's going to say. I know it sounds reprehensible.
I'm not on board for that plan.
Well, but we did reach an agreement that let's get her here and then we can work it out from there.
I like that one a lot better.
We weren't all on side. That was the
What we were on side with is that it would ultimately be her choice, and I discussed it with her and Aasimar at length, and it was her choice to come with. I promise on our friendship that I coerced her not at all. All I told her was the situation was, and she already reached the same conclusion that the abbot and later myself did, that without doing such a deal, the chance of her ending up with either one of them is still an almost certainty. And if she ends up with them without us making a deal, then there's no benefit for everyone. At least this way we can try and make Strahd act like the ruler of the lands that this land deserves, is my thinking. I know it's not good, but it is the greater good compared to the other option, which is put it up to chance for which one she gets, and then still gets nothing.
Well, these are all
It was her choice.
things to dwell on. I will do everything within my power not to let any of those eventuate.
And I would love that too, but right now it seems as though the choices are Irina stays holed up in the Abbey for the rest of her life, with us here fending off wave after wave of non-undead servants, or we strike a bargain with the one we know to be the lesser of two evils, in the hope that we can make him into hopefully not evil once he has. As the backstory for her, this is why this whole realm is here. Why these two are locked in combat is because they quarreled over the woman that Irina looks the spitting image of. If we can resolve that conflict, perhaps things will not be so bad. Maybe Strahd will be a nice husband to her if he has a kid.
I doubt that, I think, but only time will tell.
I'm sure I'm not the only one in the group that thinks an appeal to his humanity could be a viable strategy.
The last person to think that is no longer sitting at the table.
Super well.
To be fair though, there were other compelling factors in Grinner's attempts that undermined that somewhat. Just his general demeanor, really.
The face.
Lack thereof.
Alright, so trot along down to the basement, walk past the room of miscellaneous body parts. I assume it's really easy to find what the abbot was talking about.
As you head down into the cellar area below, all six of you making your way down the stone staircase off of the main chapel. The area under here is cooler. Almost a damp smell to the air, smell of mold and dank. And as you begin making your way down the long stone corridor, you pass by the cellar room, which is still full of blocks of ice being tended to at the moment by one of the mongrel folk. This one much more lizard-like, who smiles and waves as you pass and gives you a bit of a thumbs up, revealing they have two thumbs on one hand, almost sloth-like thumbs.
Twice the opposability.
I would argue twice as evolved. It would be a terrible argument, but...
He's the future.
Exactly. No, the future would be a crab. Like, it'd be just a crab. We all know that every animal evolves into crab. It's all crabs.
So that guy out there in the well, he's
on the way. He's far more evolved than you lot. As you make your way down the long corridor, the large stone cellar at the end, this open room carved out into the original rock that was transported to Barovia along with the abbey itself, the grounds around the abbey transported. This room is much larger than you were expecting, almost 4 times the size of the stone cellar. Clearly this was once used as some sort of ritual chamber. 4 columns hold the roof up above, the room itself 80 feet in depth as you walk in through the front, through this entranceway from the corridor beyond, and about 60 feet wide. No door, just open. Hinges still nailed into the stone where a door once would have been, but the wood has long since rotted and disappeared. In the room are a jumbled mess of various items. Standing guard in front of each of the 4 pillars are 4 suits of armor. You can see bookcases scattered with old, musty paper bound in leather, part of it loose and broken. You can see that this is almost a junk room where items are stored for very long periods of time without being used. A thin layer of dust covers almost every surface in this area. Hanging from a weapon rack at the far end of the room, you can see swords, pikes, but old and not well cared for, the metal pitted and unusable. And as you step a little bit further into the room, no sputtering torches to light the way, just a single standing candelabra in the very center of the room with 8 candles lighting the room itself, casting shadows across the walls and floor. anyone with a passive perception of 14 or higher, you can see that the suits of armor, one of them isn't a suit of armor at all. It's a mismatch of metal and wood and what looks like polished horn or bone in places as well, creating, to your eyes, what could almost be like a statue or a mechanism, a construct of some sorts. Just standing in front of one of the pillars in a very similar position as the suits of armor. Dust covers its surface, otherwise seems, like an object, a carved statue.
Did the abbot describe of any things of magic around here that could be helpful? Because if there's a lot of junk, it looks of old things here. If I sort of have a glance around the bits and pieces, might find something of use.
He says there would be helpful items down here. I presume it's magic, but it does all look a bit junk. And walk over and slap that mismatch. Look at this piece of crap. It's just put together of just random odds and ends. It's completely useless.
As you slap the face, it's definitely bone or horn. The face is made up of plates, a lower jaw, and what almost looks like real teeth set into this faceplate of bone on the lower jaw, along with plates along the head. As you slap it, a hollow ringing noise rings out, and as you do, you hear a series of clicks, and you watch as part of the chest cavity springs open, revealing a sphere, faintly pulsing with purple light, almost flickering like the candle flames around it, almost inactive, just the faintest light shining from within.
Maybe it's one of the abbot's early Vasilka attempts. Jonor, this thing looks magic inside this crap statue. Maybe you could do something with that. Maybe yank out the core and use it in magic.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's go have a look at this thing. I get up within a couple feet of it and peruse that insert there, and if there's anything that looks to be of value inside.
Yeah. Do you want to make me, I'm going to say, an investigation or arcana check? Arcana to kind of understand the magical nature of it. Investigation to sort of understands the mechanical components. I'd say probably, Jonor, in the interest of being fair and open, if it's an arcana check, I'd say you would have advantage on this roll. Because mechanisms, it's not really a specialty for you, but magic is. And yeah, I mean, you're a student of magic, and as a student of the Unseen University, is that a 20 unnatural? Holy shit. Jonor, as you examine this, yeah, this looks not too dissimilar in some ways from a very, very warped Warforged. You don't know a huge amount of... Actually, no, with a 20, let me refrain. You know a fair bit about Warforged, Jonor, as you... I mean, you've studied the construction of them. Warforged on Nostea are sentient for the most part, created by arcanists during this upheaval known as the Ruin. Most Warforged are very, very old. This looks the same. It looks ancient, covered in dust. You can see sections where it's been broken and repaired. The metal kind of corroded in some places, except for the metal around the core. These thin wires of almost this like golden orange metal, a metal you've never seen before, metal you don't recognize, wrapped around the core. And the core, this crystalline structure bound within this metal lattice cage. There is magic here, faint magic, pulsing. And as you feel that pulse with a 20, Jonor, it doesn't feel that unlike a sensation you felt before. You still have that soul coin in your inventory, don't you?
Yeah. It's in the back pocket.
It would not feel too dissimilar from the sensation of the soul coin. That sensation of a presence, a power, much fainter than the soul coin. but still that presence within. The sensation of a presence is the best way to describe it. Wow, it's so strong. Tom's actually gone. He's transported. While Jonor is examining the statue, as the rest of you have a bit of a peek around, I mean, there are also what look like large ornate chests set up along the walls and some armor racks and weapon racks. I mean, if the rest of you want to have a bit of a peekaroo through that, you can absolutely roll me a investigation check to have a bit of a peekaroo through what's on the walls and floors. While you guys are doing that, we'll jump back to Tom. Now, that was perfect timing because it's just like you're just so stunned by this revelation.
Yeah,
what was the last thing? What was the last thing you heard?
Yeah, the same sensation as the soul coin that I pinched off the body of the devil.
Yes, you've had that for a while.
The vampire. Yeah. Getting the same vibe about that. I'm going to reach into, while sort of focusing on that like core inside there, the metal like intertwined I didn't recognize. I then, one hand sort of near that, other hand reaches into the pouch to go hand on the coin just to like get another feel of like, does this feel like the same? Do I anything different when I touch both of them?
So one hand on the core, one hand on the coin.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is, okay. You can feel not a resonance per se, but that flow of magic. Jonor, you can feel instinctively a connection between these. Almost as if the core is drawing, trying to reach out, pulling for something. And the soul coin is responding. There's a sensation of it almost being drawn towards the core.
Just a shovel out of the way, Theo. Just give me one moment. And I grab the coin. I go to turn the core in any way where I could like slide it in.
There's like a coin slot, like a piggy bank on the back as you spin it around. And then there's like you have to turn a handle and then a gumdrop falls out into your hand. No, as you begin to sort of like peer around the core, no areas where you could place it. Doesn't seem to be any slots or brackets or anything for it.
He's gonna grab the coin and then sort of slide it underneath the core, in between core and rest of chasm.
The metal casing, yeah. Okay, cool. We're going to get to that in a second. Tithla and Theodore. While the two of you begin examining the rest of the room, Tithla with an 18, Theodore with a 17, you get the sense the abbot was indeed asking you to come and collect the weapons. There are a number of items, clearly that have been designed for use with the mongrel folk. Weapons and armor that can be strapped onto mismatched limbs. Items that can be used to like augment attacks of a claw. You can see there's one set of metal claws which almost look like they slide over existing bear claws, for example, and become like razor sharp. But they haven't really been well cared for. They're not in the best condition. There is also fragments and scraps of armor which could be used, but more importantly, Tithla, actually, and Theo, you both passed the 16. As you begin to look through, at the very back of the room, there is a small chest which appears to be full of these orange vials. Glass vials with this roiling, almost boiling orange liquid. There are 8 of these vials in total. Tithla, you have a little bit of alchemical training. Do you want to roll me I'm going to say Arcana check? It's not medicine. This is not medicine. I will tell you that right now. Do not drink this. I know you like to taste potions, but this is not one.
Just a little sip.
Okay, you can have a little sip if you want.
Survival?
More Arcana, sorry.
No, I tried.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, it's fine. It's 19.
19. This is Alchemist's Fire, Tithla. You've heard of this before. It's a combustible liquid that when exposed to air, once it's been unleashed from the bottle, exposed to air and force, will explode into fire. With a 19, this isn't your typical Alchemist's Fire. This is almost reactive inside the vial. And as you peer closer and look in, you can see in the very middle of the glass vial is a small test tube with a silvery, almost powdery-like substance in the very middle. This looks very dangerous. You do not want to drop this.
Careful, careful. This is... You've heard of alchemist fire?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Well, this is super alchemist fire. This is worse.
Do you think you should
better.
drink it and see what it does?
I would rather not.
I was going to call it Philosopher's Blaze, but I guess Super Alchemist's Fire is what's going to be the official name now heading forwards.
I'd already written that down, so that's
Thanks for that, Jacob. Yeah.
I appreciate your personal growth for not drinking the random liquid.
Personal
this
growth.
isn't random. It's because I know what this is that I'm not going to drink it. If I didn't know, then maybe.
And when the other said you were paralyzed from drinking a potion you cured
for only an hour.
I was very disappointed to hear that. I need you to take better care of yourself.
But it was like, it wasn't that long and I was trying to help.
I am not mad, I'm just disappointed.
But the instructions were so far on the other side of the page.
As this conversation is going on, Killian and Luther, you watch as Jonor, because I'd say both of you, so you're not helping out with Theo and Tithla, you're kind of taking an interest in what Jonor's up to. What would you two be doing?
I'm keeping as far back from everybody as possible, sort of at the doorway, sort of leaning and just watching, staying away from any weapons.
Fair.
And everyone's back right inside.
Fair. Daggers ready.
Fireball.
Yeah.
I'll take those alchemical fires, Tithla. Don't worry. Shut the door for
Noticing, because I have stood back a little bit too, noticing like Killian's like, there's something going on there. I sort of walk up to next to him. Are you okay? You're not having any thoughts, are you?
No thoughts.
No thoughts at all. No, I'm completely brain dead. No, no thoughts or anything. I'm wary in case those thoughts do come. I want to make sure that I am a safe distance away from all of you.
How about this? Come with me. I don't know, when people pray, I don't know what.
It's up to you. Like different for each god. So, like Melora, for example, the goddess of the wilds, does not want you to get on your knees and pray. You can only pray when you're out battling the elements in a storm, out in the wilds. That's how you pray to Melora. For Pelor, it might be in a temple, in a city, very traditional sense, offering a sacrifice of grain that you've grown or something that you've crafted to show your connection to the land and to growth. Arathis, the goddess of civilization, might be something else. So it's different for each god. So I guess for Lysander, normally you would pray in the sun, in the dawn's sun, feel the rays upon you.
Well, yeah, okay. So with that, I bring over Killian and I go, whenever you think you might be having these thoughts, close your eyes and pray to your god. Kellenvor, isn't it? Tell me about them. And I don't know if you know too much about the lore, but I'll leave it to you.
Kellenvor is the god of death, basically. Where I'm from, almost acts like a ferryman, as it were, taking people from the mortal plane, I believe it's called, to the underworld and all of that sort of stuff. Doesn't really like undead all that much. I will admit that I did pray to Kellenvor before, but I felt nothing. I feel that Kellenvor has abandoned me.
Have you tried praying to them since last night? Something has changed. Why don't we now pray to our gods? See if you make a spark.
Okay, and I will I'll say a little prayer to Kellenvor, basically saying, "Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me? Is anybody there?"
Could I get you to roll me a D100, Killian? And while you're doing that, we'll jump back to Jonor. Jonor, as you slide the soul coin into the casing between this metal housing, 84, Killian. We'll definitely come back to that. As you slide the soul coin between the metal casing and the core, Jonor, you watch as the core suddenly begins to glow a little bit brighter, and the coin begins to slowly disintegrate, starting from the outside where it just first touched the core. You watch as the coin slowly begins to turn to dust. As it does so, the core growing brighter and brighter. Raph, I think that actually a soul coin would do it. That would be sufficient. I'm going to change over the overlay. Would you like to describe and introduce your new character?
No.
I think I can manage that. So Owen's done a lot of the legwork on this. Before you see some variety of Warforged, some sort of a robot creature, covered in some sort of a white substance, whether that be bone or ivory or porcelain. It's
probably lead with that next time.
Yeah, covered in white substance is a road.
Covered in white substance.
I was thinking
That has
where
to
that
go
was
into
going.
your starting intro now.
I mean, let's be honest.
I'm playing a Warforged covered in white substances.
It's Grinner's long lost cousin. So let's be honest. They have, purple garments on as more of a decoration than anything else because robot. Lots of this white plating all over whatever it happens to be, and a singular eye placed into the forehead that slowly glows to life as the soul coin gets devoured.
I've put the artwork up on stream for those of you who watch on YouTube and Twitch. You'll be able to see it right now. For those of you who listen to the podcast, that's a pretty good explanation. Josh,
I love the little tease that we had earlier because I saw it pop up on the artwork.
Yeah,
reel.
I know.
I've not seen that one before.
Yeah,
because I don't have it full screen, I couldn't see who the player was. So I was like, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
and then just carried on watching.
Yeah, a little spoiler for those who pay attention to the art carousel that goes around. I hadn't realized that I'd already pre-added it to the art carousel because it's in. There's a folder that I save all of the artwork to. That's final versions. I forgot to remove it. I saw it come up too, and I quickly removed it. So you only came up I think once or twice before I realized. Yeah.
Probably the most unsettling thing about this critter. Although there's several unsettling things about it.
Yeah, the real bone or ivory or horn used to create many of the interlocking plates that create this creature is unsettling enough, but there's one feature.
It certainly is, but the fact that not only is the face, it is a single thing. None of the parts actually move. It's all a single item.
Yeah, locked into place, yeah.
Yeah, but there's these shelves that have been designed for the upper and lower teeth, which are actual humanoid teeth that have been implanted into this critter.
Why?
Why?
Why did you do that?
There were some features Raph insisted on for this artwork. The manky yellow teeth.
Insisted. I said, "Hey, that would be cool," and no one's like, "Oh, fuck yes."
Yeah. Look, I really enjoyed drawing this character. It was a lot of fun. So.
Nah, man, it looks sick. Looks awesome.
It was a fun character to draw.
Looks fucked.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that either.
I'm here for that.
As the eye, this single purple eye, like Cyclops' eye in the very center of these 4 interlocking plates of bone or ivory, slowly begins to glow with a you watch as the chest reseals perfectly, the core no longer visible, now hidden beneath the layers of interlocking plates of metal, dark iron underneath, and then bronze casing, essentially holding in these fragments of bone, especially around the torso. On each side, 3 to 4 real ribs, bones set into this creature's torso. And as the eye slowly begins to brighten, Raph.
Honestly, it's probably just going to look around at the people in front of it, fixating probably most obviously on Jonor, seeing as he's directly in front of it. Its eye pupil, seeing as you're closest, is very goat-like in like that weird square shape that they have.
My guy.
It's probably just going to fixate on you for a while without any sort of response outside of that. And then it'll just say, hello.
He's committed. It's a good voice. Jonor, that's what you hear.
Should have not have done this. Should have not have done this. What have I done? And then I look up to see the eye looking back down at me.
That's a question. How tall is your character? We didn't discuss that.
No, we didn't, and I didn't actually think that hard about it, to be honest. I was too focused on the absolute absurdity of how creepy it is.
Yeah.
How tall do they get?
It's got the digitigrade. It's a warforged, man. Well, technically this is a gloomforged, but it's a warforged. It could be any height. Like, could be gnome height, could be Goliath height. I'd say given the digitigrade style feet, like it's kind of up on these I'd say maybe a little bit taller, maybe like 6'1", 6'2"-ish, like a little bit taller.
Yeah, we'll say about 6'2" then. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, in that case, Jonor, looking up into this single eye.
He's like sort of hunched forwards, looking at the chest piece, and it sort of like closes in front of him. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
After you watch the soul coin turn to dust, I will need you to remove that soul coin from your inventory, Jonor. It is gone. It has been consumed.
Yeah.
Hearing Jonor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jonor, what have you done?
I might have slipped a soul coin into this core, and it's absorbed it. Just at that point, I imagine would have looked up and been like, I might have fed it, like a soul coin into its chest. Hi there. Hi, as he steps backwards 2 or 3, clinking into all the things in the ground behind him.
Hello. You have brought me to life.
Are you going to be able to do this for a 2-hour session?
Yes.
Do you have a name?
A name? I am Styx. Hello.
Styx?
Styx.
You do not seem to me as a bone, not Styx.
Well, I did not choose my name.
Did you were you just in the coin? Were you in the coin trap before, or is that something else?
No, that is incorrect. I am me. I am always me.
Raph has basically made a slot machine.
Yeah.
Keep firing coins into it.
It's funny. The original design I hadn't accounted for the soul coin, and then I had a thought later. I was like, oh shit, a soul coin would also work really, really well.
So you're happy that I brought you back to life? Did you have a life before?
That is incorrect. I am neither happy or sad. I am existing.
Why does it sound like you're in agony?
I am not. I am completely apathetic.
Could I convince you to perhaps be more sympathetic and helpful to our cause?
You have brought me to life. I will assist.
Well, technically, Jonor brought you to life, so I guess you will assist him.
I have no idea of who has done this for me, but I will help all of you, seeing as you are here in his presence.
I'm sorry, I just need to interrupt here. I touch a tiny little bit of liquid to my tongue and I get in trouble forever. Jonor raises something to life by throwing the super magical coin into it, not knowing anything about what could happen, and it's all hunky-dory. How are we going?
Well, yes, because something is now moving when it was not, whereas before you stopped moving when you should.
Well, when you explain it like that makes sense. I'm so sorry I interrupted.
I can't fault that logic. It's fucking flawless. It's great. I can't fault it.
Talk to Tithla.
It's simple enough.
I'm also enjoying chat's comment. We've known Styx for one paragraph and they're already having an existential crisis. I also like the use of the word paragraph. I don't know why, but it adds the humor for me.
So do we find anything else in the room while we're rummaging besides the super alchemist file?
The armor and weapons for the lovely mongrel folk.
Mongrel folk. Yep.
Styx, are you able to help us carry all of these weapons and armor up to Armsy Fort?
Correct. Styx is just going to walk over and start picking shit up.
Much more compliant.
No.
Oh, man.
So many comments.
Styx never met Grinner, unfortunately. They've never existed in the same place. Yeah, you watch as Styx walks over. Styx, you're pretty strong. I mean, made of metal and bone. Just reach down, pick up one of the large crates full of armor and weapons for the mongrel folk. Turn around, holding it without too much effort. I mean, you're not visibly sweating. It's not an option, but, like, you're not.
While Styx is helping us with this, should we distribute these? They sound quite helpful. I think it would be wise if we had a couple of them each to get out of tricky situations.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Give me a... So, these... Everyone knows Alchemist Fire, right? Yes.
Yes.
I'm just seeing blank faces. Yes.
I do not have a choice.
Okay.
Man, this thing is so unsettling.
Hello, I'm Tithla. I'd like to apologize for my insincere approach to your face. I think it's unique.
I have never seen my face. Could you describe it to me?
No.
What the fuck?
Even better, when we go upstairs, you can see it yourself.
I saw a lich like 12 hours ago and it was less spooky than this.
It's a horror campaign. What have we done? It's just very funny now.
It just...
Oh no.
This is Alchemist Fire. This is Super Alchemist Fire. It's even more dangerous, even more worse. Be very, very careful.
That's throw it in your pack willy-nilly. Grab out at will.
Tithla will keep 2. We only have 8. How are we gonna hand them out? You should have 2.
Not saying no. Why are you refusing the weapons, Killian? You have been a fantastic fighter. Your skills are necessary for us to.
Ooh.
You should probably have 2.
Me and Killian are still praying over at the side.
I think that might be a good thing to address just before we end, actually. So that was an 84 on your D100, Killian. Very nice. How do you commune with your god, Kellanvor? Do you kneel? Do you sit? Do you stand? How would Killian convey his respect.
It'd be kneeling.
Luthi
Kneeling on the floor.
You watch as Killian
Normally
takes...
with some sort of a token or something that I pull out. Probably the necklace. I either hold on to it or place it on the floor.
Perfect. As you get into the kneeling position, Killian, you see Luther next to you, eyes closed, focusing on something. His god, probably. You close your eyes. Reach out with your mind once again, trying to feel that connection to your god. And at first, there's silence, that same silence you felt back in the chapel. And as you clutch your amulet, your holy symbol, tighter, suddenly, you feel a warmth emanating from it. That sense of connection, but a sense of disappointment as well. Not harsh, not rebuking, as a parent would be disappointed with a child who's acted up. And an encouragement to do better. I think that is a good note to end on for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and holy shit, Raph, that's a commitment, that voice.
It's easier than you think, I promise.
Sure. I guess, look, I have to take your word on it. I'm not going to attempt it. Good lord. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been wonderful having you all here once again. And please let me know what you think of the artwork for Styx. It will be up on the Lost Archives ArtStation profile very shortly, so you can see it in full high definition if you wanted to. The detail on the teeth is horrifically accurate. I can only apologize. I first learned to draw for anatomy when I was going through my undergrad, so if there's one thing I know how to draw, it's bones and teeth. So I had a lot of fun. And that's how I learned to draw. So I figured, why not put my skills into that? Well, because it's the best way to learn, Jacob. Like I was a very visual learner, and like there's a lot of bones in the human body. 206. It's a lot of effort. It's much easier to learn them if you draw them. And then I could understand how they fit together, and then I could understand the biomechanics of how the muscles work. It just made sense for me to do it that way. So that's actually how I learned to draw. So yeah, super stoked to be able to use those skills again for Raph's horrific character. Ironically, the last time I got to use those skills was for Raph's other horrific character, Shivers, who also had a bit of a skeleton undeath vibe going for him. I'm not going to say I'm noticing a pattern, but...
There's no theme here.
It is also appropriate. The color scheme is similar, and next to each other in the folder, Shivers and Styx sit because their names are so similar.
Well, you're the one doing the art, my dude. I don't know what to tell you.
And Grinner broke the mold until recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's the most dead out of all three of them.
Until I broke Grinner.
To go with that, Raph is wearing the most playful shirt, little puppy dogs, the most lively thing you'd ever see.
Wait till you get to know Styx in more detail. Styx is a wonderful character who has who is maybe not exactly what you might be expecting based on the artwork. Let's put it that way, without any spoilers. No, look, thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful having you all here along. We will see you all again for our Return of the Giants campaign on Wednesday and our Curse of Strahd next Monday. And I'm very excited to announce Avatar Legends is returning very, very shortly with our short form Kyoshi era campaign. That will be coming very, very soon. And it's called The Search for the Avatar. So we'll be launching that not too far in the future. So stay tuned for that. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Really, really helps us out. If you're watching on Spotify or iTunes or on Google Podcasts, most of those platforms let you leave a little review or a star or something. Massive thank you to the person who left a comment on the last episode of Avatar Legends on Spotify the other day to let me know that I had actually put a typo in the episode title. I had called it the wrong episode number. So thank you for that. I was able to fix it really quickly. So massive, massive props. Thank you very much. So yeah, if you can do that, it'd really help us out. But until then, until we see you again, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you all again soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye. Bye. And tour of the new recording studio coming soon. Mwah.